This is Leslie from the Green Gorillas, and I'm out here with Clee Benally from the political punk rock dine band Blackfire.
Who can say we don't want you here? Machine stop, radiation impacts will be very long after today. Who can say we're not cut, not pieces all broken? Put it together, you don't have to do it on your own.
Well, I originally come from an area known as Black Mesa on the Navajo Nation, and underneath Black Mesa is the largest coal deposit in North America, and coal is currently utilized in coal-fired power plants to power cities like LA, San Francisco, Denver, Phoenix, Arizona, and people don't realize when they flip on their light switch that that's where the power is coming from. But the reality is, as well, is that this coal is being extracted, and it's harming our environment, creating health impacts, very serious health impacts with the pollution that's created after the coal is burned in these coal-fired power plants. But it's also these companies, these corporations like Peabody Coal Company, which is operating a mine out there, needs to strip the land, in order to access the coal, and we live on that land. Our people, my relatives, my grandparents, and it's unfortunately something that's led to the relocation of a lot of our people. But my families are still resisting this relocation today, so there's many hardships. And in our traditional language, Denepizad, there's no word to translate relocation. Relocation really means to disappear and never be seen again, as one of my elders, Pauline Whitesinger, once said. Basically, the federal government stepped in and created this so-called land dispute between the Navajo and the Hopi people, and said, well, since you two are fighting, we're going to have to resolve this. And in 1974, they created a law to resolve this issue, supposedly resolve this issue, and made this fence saying all the Navajo people on this side that's partitioned for the Hopi need to move, and all the Hopi on the Navajo side need to move. But the Hopis traditionally live on their mesas, and they weren't really impacted by this. But 14,000 of our people were forcibly removed, forcibly relocated, like transplanted, but without choice, from their ancestral homelands that they've known since time immemorial, from generation upon generation, where our grandparents, great-great-great-great-great-grandparents are buried, and it's created so much suffering. Well, Peabody Coal Company, Peabody Energy, is the largest coal company in the world. They operate the largest strip mine in the world. It's actually two mines, the Black Mesa mine and the Kayenta mine. Actually, the Black Mesa mine right now is shut down because environmental groups and tribal activists, advocates have taken a stand to be able to hold some of the coal-fired power plants accountable because they didn't meet EPA standards, Environmental Protection Agency standards. But Peabody Coal Company right now is operating on a lease on the reservation through the tribal councils, which to us is a really difficult situation because our tribal councils, unfortunately in this case, aren't representing our wishes. They aren't representing the wishes of the traditional people. So Peabody Coal Company right now is threatening to expand its mining operations, and the most concerning aspect of this expansion that they want to do, which is called the Black Mesa Project, is to open up a life of mine permit, which would mean they could operate on Black Mesa for as long as there is coal, which under Black Mesa is the largest coal deposit in North America, so they would be there for a very, very long time. That coal would be sent to these coal-fired power plants, and that would be pumping more carbon emissions into our atmosphere, which of course everybody knows now that carbon emissions are one of the leading causes of global warming. So it's a very serious concern, not only for our people because of the direct impacts of relocation, the direct health impacts in our community, but also because of the global warming that's being created because of the burning of this coal.
Our struggles are connected, and these grassroots that are coming up, it's important to recognize that it's easy to get overwhelmed in this day and age when corporate media is telling us how compartmentalized we should be, where we should fit, and how we should not fit as well. But the reality is that there are movements of small communities that are organizing.
Well, we try to sing with our music, try to educate people in our communities, and primarily, we, aside from the music, we take action. We try to organize, network with other groups. Right now we work with a group called the Black Mesa Water Coalition, which is young people about our age and younger that are working to provide a just transition, what they identify as a just transition plan, saying that we don't need to build new coal-fired coal-fired power plants. We don't need new power plants. What we need are alternative, renewable energy sources that can provide more sustainable and healthy jobs for our communities. So it's a just transition into a better economy that will be for the betterment of the health of our communities. So Black Mesa Water Coalition is doing just amazing work in addressing this, and also what we recognize is something that's called climate justice. You know, saying that, you know, indigenous people are impacted by climate change, and that needs to be recognized, whether it's from the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge or way up in the Arctic Circle, where indigenous people are the first people to recognize that, hey, you know, our seasons are changing, our cycles are changing, our caribou herds or our reindeer herds are not migrating, or, you know, the bears aren't hibernating. You know, we recognize and we see this, and our lifestyles are changing because of this, and it's a very, very serious threat. A lot of these issues also have their own MySpace sites, and you can link to our friends and hook up and connect and network and utilize these tools, these technological tools, whether it's your music, your creativity, your arts, whatever you can, utilize your voice to reach out to other people and activate, inspire, and elevate, because that's what we need. We need more people to utilize their voices, and we work with youth like the Green Gorillas in our community. We have a project called Out of Your Backpack Media, and we're doing almost the exact same thing that y'all are doing, which is so important to empower people through media justice, because there is an equity that exists within the media as well. So we can, you know, we have that power. It's just a question of how we, you know, activate again and try to elevate. So thank you all for everything that y'all are doing, and hopefully people continue, and I think it's really inspiring for me to see. It's an honor to be part of your show.